You ever feel like you've walked into a sleazy used car lot when you hear the word marketing? Like it's some grubby game that's quite frankly beneath you, right? You are an occupational therapist in a private practice, a healer, not a shark-eyed salesperson, right? Look, I totally hear you. You didn't sign up to go to OT school dreaming of all these things, sales funnels, conversion rates, or glossy marketing brochures. You wanted to make a real difference in people's lives, to be the catalyst in their journey to better health. The mere thought of morphing into a marketing maestro, well, that feels like it's not you, right? But what if I told you that marketing isn't about transforming into some type of hustler? What if it is about authenticity, communication, and showing that you care? What if it's not about doing anything different, but just seeing what you're already doing in a new light? So stick around and I'll show you that marketing isn't the monster under the bed that you think it is. And the fact that marketing is actually all around you. So let's get started. Hi, my name is Doug Vestal, and I'm the owner of Freedom of Practice, and I help OTs just like you start and grow thriving private pay OT practices. My wife and I, we started a very successful private pay OT practice in New York City, and I make these videos to help you achieve success faster and also avoid some of those same mistakes that we made when we were starting our practice. Now, many OTs think about marketing as a black and white activity. It is something that is done once or kind of, on occasion. And that's partly true. If you put on a community workshop, then that is a piece of marketing. But there is a more powerful and complete way to view marketing, and that is to realize everything you do is marketing. The way you show up, the way your practice is ran, the way your practice presents itself is all marketing. And the reason for this is that your clients are constantly observing, interacting, and forming an opinion about you and your practice. So today I want to cover 6 things in your practice you may not be considering as quote unquote marketing, but is actually super powerful when you get these activities right. The first overlooked way to market your OT private practice is your facilities and location. So let me tell you a story that just happened to me last week. I went to a new dentist in town and I got there at 8:55 a.m. for my 9 a.m. appointment. And I pulled up to the parking lot behind his office and guess what? All the spots were full. So what was I supposed to do? Where was I supposed to park? I have no idea. So I called their office and then guess what? It just rang and went to voicemail. So I called back and the same thing happened again, even though it was during office hours, right? They were open. So we get one chance to make a first impression. So imagine the first impression I had of this office. So I want you to picture this. Your dream client pulls up to your practice, but there's no parking. They circle around, growing frustrated until they finally park blocks away. They're huffing and puffing and they navigate a maze of corridors and stairways, and then only to find that your office, it looks more like a storeroom than a therapy center. Not the best first impression, huh? Right? So let's flip that scenario. Imagine your office is easy to find with ample parking. Maybe you make a video ahead of time showing your parking lot and where your clients should park. And you show them how to navigate the interiors of the office building and find your front desk. This is a simple video you can film once and send over to your clients when they book the first time with you. And then when they come in, they find that your building is very wheelchair accessible with clear signage pointing the way. Inside your office, it's clean and inviting with comfortable furniture and calming colors. The air smells like lavender, which is a soothing scent. Before they even get to their first appointment, your clients are going to feel welcome and cared for, right? That is OT marketing. Now let's talk about the second overlooked item, which is really the staff interactions in your OT private practice. And I'll go back to this same dentist interaction I had last week. When I got into the office, I was told I had to wait to fill out the paperwork because they didn't have enough tablets. I looked around the waiting room and there were only 2 people at that time using tablets. So I guess they just decided not to buy any extra. They only had 2. And I look at this interaction all the time. Is the business valuing my time as much as they value the practitioner's time? Now, it may seem trivial on surface, but we all know that appointments can't start until the paperwork is filled out. And so as I sat there for those 15 minutes waiting for a tablet to become available, all I could really think about was the fact that now I was going to be late to my next appointment that I had after the dentist, right? The most powerful thing that you can do as an OT private pay practice owner is to really look at things from the perspective of your client. What are the interactions like? How easy is your process, right? Is it simple or is it overly complicated? And consider the interaction your client will have when they walk in for that first appointment. So does your receptionist barely look up from their screen and kind of points vaguely to a stack of forms they have to fill out? If so, your client is going to feel more like an inconvenience rather than a valued guest. Now, imagine a different scenario. Your receptionist looks up, smiles warmly, and greets your client by their first name. They explain the forms clearly and offer a comfortable place to complete them. Your client is going to feel seen, respected, and reassured. And guess what? That is OT marketing. Now, let's talk about service delivery in your occupational therapy private pay practice. Now, I know you're an OT, so you are already focusing on delivering the best possible care for your clients. But did you know that how you deliver that care is really a form of marketing? Consider the punctuality of appointments. If a client is left waiting past their scheduled time, they're going to feel like their time isn't valued. But if you are consistently on time, they will feel respected. And what about personalization? If you deliver cookie cutter treatments, clients are going to feel like they're just another number. But if you take your time to really tailor treatments to each client's needs and preferences and tell them you're doing that, they are going to feel very cared for. If you follow up individually in between appointments, they will feel cared for, right? If you offer them triple filtered water or organic coffee or their choice of soothing music throughout a session, they are going to feel cared for. If you send them personalized thank you notes, they are going to feel cared for. All of the ways that you can make them feel special and like the unique individual they are will make them feel like you truly care. And that is OT marketing. Now, let's talk about your digital presence, a key factor in marketing your private pay OT practice. So I want you to think about the last time you visited a very confusing, outdated website, one where perhaps the information really wasn't clear, or perhaps you were looking at it on your mobile phone and it is clear that the website hasn't been built to be used on mobile, so you're constantly having to zoom in. It's really frustrating, right? Now, what if that was a potential client's first interaction with your practice? Your website is often that first point of contact for a potential client. If it's easy to navigate and informative, it's going to draw people in. But if it's confusing or lacks the necessary information, it's going to push people away. Now, social media is another touch point. Are your posts actually engaging and informative? Or do they just feel like a sales pitch? So remember that social media is your chance to connect with your ideal client, not just to sell to them. Now, I talk a lot about community involvement for building your OT private practice, but have you really thought about your community involvement as a form of marketing? Because it really is. When you sponsor a local event or offer free workshops, you're not just demonstrating that you care about your community. Of course you do. You're also spreading the word about your practice at those events. So let's say you sponsor a local high school volleyball team. Their families see your practice's name every time that they watch a game, and they will start to associate you with the positive experiences that they have there. And that is a marketing win. Or imagine you host a free workshop on handwriting for kids. Participants get to know you, they see your expertise firsthand, and they're more likely to choose your practice when they find out that they need occupational therapy. And they're also more likely to tell their friends and family about this amazing workshop that they attended. And just like that, you're actually marketing. Now, the final overlooked aspect of OT private practice marketing is something super, super important, and that's trust. It is a crucial element in any therapist-client relationship. You know this, but have you really considered that building trust is also a form of marketing? Let me give you an example. How do you handle mistakes? If a client's appointment is accidentally double booked, do you just brush it off, or do you really acknowledge the error, apologize sincerely, and then find a way to make it right? By owning up to these simple mistakes and handling them with grace, you're going to demonstrate to your clients that you're not just trustworthy, but you're also human and you understand what they're going through. Or consider your billing practices. Are they transparent and fair? Or are they confusing and difficult to understand? Transparent, fair billing practices shows your clients that you respect them and their finances, which is going to further build trust. So marketing isn't this game of smoke and mirrors, dark art to be feared or loathed. It's about creating that experience and building a relationship and communicating effectively in your occupational therapy private pay practice. It's really about showing up authentically, being transparent, and demonstrating over and over again that you genuinely care about their clients and their well-being. Now, you know the best part is you're already doing it. Every interaction with a client, every decision about your practice, every moment of connection, it's all marketing. You are not a sleazy salesperson, right? You are an occupational therapist who knows how to create a welcoming, healing, and trusting environment in your private pay practice. So I want you to redefine marketing, right? Let's embrace it as a tool for connection, communication, and care. A tool that's already in your hands that's waiting to be used up to its full potential. And if you are wondering if you are making more OT marketing mistakes in your private pay practice, then I want you to check out this video right here.